Today, we are continuing our lessons in driving strange red vehicles. Today, we're going to learn to drive this tractor, which I think definitely qualifies as both strange and very red. Let's get inside because the mosquitoes are eating me alive. So, you might be thinking right now, Keith, come on, driving standard last week, that was actually useful. That was pretty applicable, but driving a tractor? When is life going to throw a tractor at me? Now, my first response to that would be, I hope life never throws a tractor at you. They're very heavy, and that would be extremely painful. Secondly, you honestly never know. I never saw myself learning how to drive a tractor, yet here I am sitting in one. This is an extremely unpredicted situation, and plus, who doesn't love having more useless knowledge in their heads? I have lots. It's fantastic. Let's actually get this started. Before we begin, though, let's go over all of the stuff that we're not allowed to touch, because it's connected to the 3-point hitch, which we don't have anything attached to. We have this little gizmo right here, which has something to do with the motor in the 3-point hitch, I think. It's something to do with how powerful the motor is. Like, this is neutral, and then these are, like, speeds, but this one's not hooked up to anything. Kind of weird. There's a lot of things that aren't hooked up to stuff. Like this one. This is actually something that doesn't have to do with a 3-point hitch. It's a hydraulic thing that you can mess with the hydraulics, which I was told I'm not supposed to mess with hydraulics. Probably a good idea, except I'm going to get to mess with these hydraulics. We'll get to those later. What's the next thing? Oh, right. It's this thing. This thing has something to do with leveling the 3-point hitch, I think. But we don't have anything attached to it, so that's not really going to happen. Also, another unused thing, this 3-point hitch. A realm of so many unused possibilities. However, let's go skip all the boring stuff that we can't use and go to the stuff we can use. Over there. Like this, the radio. I am allowed to touch that. You won't be hearing it, though, because it plays songs that aren't allowed to be heard on YouTube. Or this! Climate control! AC! Oh, AC is wonderful. AC is a wonderful, wonderful thing. You know, we also got some very basic things up here like windshield washers, front and back, and some floodlights. But if we go down to the steering wheel, we also have some good old regular headlights like any other car, and some turn signals. Fancy schmancy. Now, if those aren't unsafe enough for you, we have the warning lights. Yeah, these are just everything's gone wrong. Everything's gone wrong. All right, let's get a little more serious about this. Here we have our brake pedals. Brake pedals, there's 2 of them, but they're really only one pedal because you move one and it moves both of them. They're both kind of a package. And over here we have the, where is that? There it is, the brake lock. So, pressing the brake pedal, push that down. So we can press in the brake, push this little lever down, let go, and ba-doom boom. We aren't moving anywhere, but we want to be moving. So, let's get rid of that. Now, these pedals. These are the ones we want to pay attention to. Fun fact, it doesn't just have a gas pedal, because it doesn't really have a transmission. It's got a forward pedal and a backward pedal. I like it. It's complicated in its simplicity, and I gotta appreciate that. Now, when we want to actually get these pedals to do something, we have to go over here. This big old lever here, this is our gear speed. Yep, that's definitely the right name for it. Now, we have slow, slightly less slow, and really fast. It's a tractor. It actually doesn't have really fast. It just has slow, slower, and not so slow. But we're gonna definitely try at least one of them. Probably slow. I doubt I'm gonna get to go bunny fast. That's just not likely in the realm of possibilities right now. So when we want to actually start this beast, this is another matter altogether, because this is a diesel engine. I've never actually driven a diesel engine before, and it turns out you actually have to start them differently. Let's get into that. So down here is the ignition. And the trick is that when we turn this ignition on, we're going to get a little light up here. This is a little light called the glow plug light. Now, what that light is that diesel engines don't actually have spark plugs. They have glow lights, so it doesn't spark the diesel, it just heats it up, and then the diesel, while it's being compressed and heated, just kind of explodes, which is really interesting. Fun fact about diesel. So now that that light's gone, we can actually start up the engine. And now the fun can begin. Now that we have engine power, we also have use of this. This right here is our bucket control. Now, I'm going to ask you to hold on because things are going to get a bit shaky. How to control our bucket. This is pretty simple. We have up, down. We can also tilt the bucket up and down. I warned you it's going to get shaky. These hydraulics are powerful, but they are not smooth. Now, it has an interesting little feature that we're going to need to zoom in for. You see that little yellow tab up there, which my finger is now making out of focus. That little yellow tab dictates whether or not the bucket is level in relation to the ground. So if we just move the bucket up a little bit, so the little tab is over that black section, now the bucket's level. If we pull it up more, it's over. If we pull it down, it's under. So we want to get it right on that black line. So now what we can do is if we want to plow, for instance, we can push the bucket down to the ground and get ready for plowing. But this presents a problem. What if we want to go up a hill? The bucket's right on the ground, it doesn't have any room to go up. Well, we can push the lever all the way forward, and it's entered what's called swim mode. This is really interesting because it puts no pressure on the bucket in front. The bucket will just ride along with the ground. So it hopefully won't catch on anything. Now let's get this bucket up so we can actually drive it around, because let's be honest, that's the part we really want to do. So, we had to run back home because the mosquitoes out there were terrible. Here, they're a little bit better out on the dock because we've got the open water, the wind coming in just keeps them down for a bit longer. I just want to stay outside because the light outside is just gorgeous right now. Anyway, we have a really big announcement going on. So, I'm going to Seattle next week. That means that your regularly scheduled Friday postings are not going to happen this week. I know, I'm sorry. Instead, you'll be getting, hopefully daily, if not once every 2 days. That's the goal, and I'm going to try and stick to it, I promise. We're going to see how good we can do. This is kind of the practice run for Germany, so I'm really hoping this goes well. Like I said, I'm trying for daily. This is a big deal, and I'm going to be leaving next week, which is when this video is going to come out. So, by the time you're watching this, I will probably be in Seattle and posting regularly, which will be awesome. That's it for today. It was pretty simple. Driving a tractor, not really all that hard. It's mostly like an automatic car, except for the fact that you have a forward and a backwards pedal instead of shifting forward and backwards, which is kind of weird. Also, your shift is over here, not over here, which is also kind of strange. But now that we're all done that, let's close off with a beautiful shot of this sunset, and I will see you daily next week.